time, words, and opportunities. In life, three things never come back: time, words, and opportunities. Time is the most precious resource we have. Once it slips away, it is gone forever. Words, once spoken, cannot be unsaid. They carry the weight of intention, emotion, and impact. Opportunities, when missed, often do not return. These are the three pillars of human existence, and understanding their significance is crucial to living a meaningful life. Time does not wait for anyone. It rushes by, indifferent to our desires and needs. Every moment that passes is one you cannot get back. People often think they have more time than they really do, only to realize too late that their days have been squandered. You must use your time wisely, for it is a gift that once used cannot be returned. Words are equally fleeting. The things we say can build bridges or burn them, shape relationships or destroy them. When you speak, choose your words carefully. Words, unlike time, cannot be reclaimed once they are out in the world. They have the power to heal and the power to hurt. A careless remark, once spoken, can affect a person for years, while a thoughtful one can change their life for the better. Use your words to uplift, to encourage, to build, and to bring about positive change. Opportunities are the hardest to grasp. They do not knock twice. Opportunities come and go, often disguised as challenges or difficult choices. Most people fail to recognize them, missing out on the chance for growth, change, and advancement. Seize opportunities when they arise, for if you hesitate or wait too long, they may slip through your fingers forever. If people speak ill of you behind your back, consider it a sign that you are ahead of them. People will often criticize those they feel threatened by, or those whose successes highlight their own shortcomings. Let these criticisms be a reminder that you are moving forward even when others are stuck. We are granted two lives. The first begins at birth, and the second begins when we realize we only have one life to live. This is the awakening moment, when we understand the brevity of our existence and the urgency to live with purpose. Once we grasp that we only have one chance at life, everything changes. We begin to live more fully, more intentionally. Self-reflection and confronting our own mistakes. The greatest disease of mankind is that we neglect our own fields while focusing on the weeds in others' fields. It is easy to point fingers and criticize the actions or shortcomings of others, but true wisdom comes when we focus on ourselves. The real work is done within, and the more we tend to our own inner garden, the more we can help others. Before embarking on a journey of revenge, remember that to dig two graves means you harm yourself as much as the person you seek to punish. Revenge only consumes the soul of the one seeking it. When you take the path of vengeance, you lose your peace, your clarity, and your focus. Let go of the past and move forward with strength and grace. Forgiveness is the key to releasing the chains that bind you. There are lessons in defeat that victory cannot teach. 1,000 lessons lie in defeat, but only one in victory. Defeat, though painful, is a powerful teacher. Each failure offers a lesson if we are willing to learn from it. Victory, on the other hand, can sometimes make us complacent. It is in our losses that we find the greatest potential for growth. The present moment, living in peace. If you are depressed, you live in the past. If you are anxious, you live in the future. But if you are at peace, you are living in the present. True peace is not the absence of conflict around you, but the presence of stillness within you. If you can live in the present, you can experience a peace that is not dependent on external circumstances. The present is all we truly have, and the more we focus on it, the more content we become. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. It may seem small, but it is the first step that sets you on the path to something much greater. Every great accomplishment in life starts with a decision, a commitment, and then the courage to take that first step. Do not wait for the perfect moment to begin, for that moment will never come. The perfect time is now. We spend great effort trying to convince others that we are happy, yet often fail to convince ourselves. This is the paradox of modern life. We are so caught up in proving our happiness to others that we forget to find it for ourselves. True happiness does not come from the approval of others, but from accepting ourselves, our imperfections, and our journey. The true measure of strength. There is a kind of strength that does not shout, that does not need to conquer others. It is the quiet resilience that blooms in silence. It is the courage to keep going when no one is watching, the inner strength that bends but does not break. In a world obsessed with appearances, we must learn to appear weak when we are strong and to hide our strength like a sword kept in its sheath. True strength lies not in domination, but in self-mastery. To win over oneself is the greatest victory. He who knows his own darkness and does not flinch from it holds the power that no enemy can steal. The greatest warriors are not those who raise their voices in battle, but those who wage the war within and come out whole. Do not be deceived by the loudest voice in the room. The strongest heart often beats in silence. Be like water, soft yet unyielding, subtle yet unbreakable. It will flow around rocks, but over time it carves mountains. Do not seek to crush, but to endure. In this lies the strength that outlives storms. The mirror of the mind, the thoughts we nurture in silence shape the world we live in. Watch your thoughts, for they become your words. Watch your words, for they become your actions. Actions become habits. Habits become your character, and your character, slowly but surely, becomes your destiny. The mind is not just a vessel, it is a seedbed. What you plant will grow. If you water hatred, it will grow wild and thorny. If you nourish compassion, it will bloom in your soul like spring. Most people are not destroyed by others. They are slowly eaten from within by the weeds they did not pull. When your mind is clouded with envy, anger, or despair, your world reflects the same storm. But if your mind is still, your heart clear, even chaos cannot move you. You become like the moon reflected in a lake, untouched, calm, and radiant. Do not let your thoughts betray you. Work on clearing them like a monk tending his garden. For where there are no bad thoughts, there will be no bad deeds. The paradox of time. Time, like water, slips through fingers no matter how tightly we hold. Yet it is not time that fails us. It is we who fail to see its value until it is gone. There are three things that never return: time, the spoken word, and lost opportunity. Once they pass, no regret can summon them back. Many people live as if they have 1,000 years, but we have only 2 lives, and the second begins when we realize we only have one. Do not waste it chasing what others applaud. Do not trade the eternal for the immediate. If you are living in the past, you are shackled by regret. If you are living in the future, you are tormented by anxiety. But if you live in the present moment, you are at peace. For here, now, is the only place life truly exists. Do not wait until old age to cherish your youth. Do not wait until lost to value what you have. Time is not a river you can swim twice. It flows forward and it does not wait. Of enemies, ego, and true victory. The enemy outside is not as dangerous as the enemy within. Before you set out on a journey of revenge, dig 2 graves, one for your enemy and one for yourself. Hatred is a boomerang. It returns to wound the thrower. To hate is to be defeated without a fight. True victory lies not in crushing others, but in rising above them. It is more shameful to distrust a true friend than to be deceived by him, because distrust builds walls, while forgiveness opens paths to peace. It is easy to love those who are kind to you, but the hardest and most sacred lesson is to love your enemies, not to approve of their deeds, but to free yourself from their hold. If you allow them to stir your anger, they own you. If you forgive them, you reclaim your soul. A wise warrior knows that victory without conflict is the highest form of conquest. Conquer not with the sword, but with the heart. That is the battle worth winning. Wealth, desire, and the art of enough. A healthy man desires 1,000 things, a sick man only one. Yet the one who desires nothing owns everything. The disease of our age is not lack of wealth, but the poverty of contentment. We climb higher, not to see further, but to escape ourselves. Desire is a flame. It warms in moderation, but burns in excess. He who knows when to stop will never be poor. He who always chases more will always be in debt, no matter how much he owns. A noble person uses things and loves people. A lesser man loves things and uses people. Know the difference, for it will determine the shape of your soul. There is no greater crime than having too many desires. There is no greater misfortune than not being content. And there is no greater disaster than to never know when enough is enough. He who is satisfied with his portion is truly rich. For wealth is not measured by what is in your hand, but what is in your heart. Conclusion: shape your destiny. Through thought and action, the life you live is not an accident. It is a mirror, a reflection of the thoughts you allow to take root in your mind and the choices you make each day. Your thoughts are not fleeting whispers. They are the architects of your future. Like seeds sown into the soil of your mind, they grow into the reality that surrounds you. A single thought, nurtured by focus and belief, becomes a word. A word repeated with conviction becomes an action. An action done consistently becomes a habit. And your habits over time become the very shape of your destiny. If you desire peace, then plant the seeds of peace in your thoughts. If you long for fulfillment, begin by imagining what a fulfilled life looks like in the quiet corners of your mind. You cannot harvest joy from a mind overwhelmed with fear, nor can you live with purpose if your thoughts are poisoned with doubt, blame, or resentment. You must understand this. You are not a victim of your circumstances. You are not at the mercy of fate, nor of other people's opinions. The power to change, to rise, to heal, and to begin again, it lives in you. Take responsibility for the life you are living. No one else can walk your path. No one else can make your choices. If you continue to point fingers at the world, at your past, or at others, you surrender your power. But when you accept that your life is the result of your own thoughts and actions, you reclaim it. Wisdom is not something granted by age or circumstance. It is born from quiet moments of reflection, from the willingness to observe yourself honestly, to question your intentions, and to choose deliberately. The wise do not live on autopilot. They live with presence. They walk through life not simply reacting, but responding with clarity, with purpose, and with love. So live today as if it were your last, not in fear, but in reverence. Every sunrise is a reminder that you are still here, still capable of changing, of learning, of loving more deeply than you did yesterday. Time does not wait for anyone, and the tragedy is not that life ends, but that so many never truly live. Shape your life not by chance, but by choice, and let your choices be guided by thought, grounded in purpose, and fueled by the quiet but powerful belief that who you are today is only the beginning of who you can become.